But yeah, nah, I've been out here. I'm originally from the Bay Area, California.
Okay.
I've been in Austin for it's about to be 5 years now. Not too
You
bad.
you out there for work? He said, I can drink this
It's,
way.
I mean, I just want to so before I moved back home, when I graduated college December of 2019,
Yeah,
and then 2020 happened. So I'm
yeah.
just sitting at my mom's crib. I moved back home trying to find a job after college. And I was like, dude, I can't. After living in Arizona away from home for so long, I was like, I can't do this anymore, bro. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, once you have your own roof and your own just routine and stuff, you're like, the crib is it's nice and I'm glad to be here, but I'm ready to get back out.
yeah, especially when it's like you step out the door, where you going? It's like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
literally.
I'm just
You
trying
know
to
what's crazy
live.
that? It's like me, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going out.
Yeah. Are
Or
we
I'm
close?
clocking
What? How old are you? I want to know if we close in age.
it. I'm 28. I just turned 28.
Okay. I'm 28 too.
Yeah. So when you said you graduated 2019, I was like, oh, we the same age group.
Yeah, my birthday next week though, so I'll be 29.
Oh, oh.
I'm like, sheesh. 30 sounding too real for me,
Yeah, the
bro.
unk jokes is being for real now. It's about to be reality,
Can we actually address this? When did Unk start being in the 20s?
bro.
Unk has always been like 40 plus, like that uncle at the
Easily, maybe
barbecue.
45, 50, to be
No,
honest.
literally, bro. People are getting called Unk. I saw someone get called Unk at 21. I said, there's no fucking way, bro.
I
There's
think I
no.
think at this point, because social media moves stuff so quickly, if you were into, wearing KDs back in the day, you're unk now. That's unk status. They're
Yeah.
like, KDs, what? KD 4? It was 4? Like, you knew you were alive back then. They're up to, whatever number they're up to now. It's like you was alive.
I want to say he just dropped another shoe. I think it's his 19th pair. Hold on.
Like,
It's
that's
his
honestly,
19th.
shout out to Kevin Durant. That's impressive. 19 pairs.
I got to look that up now. I think
Like
that was
I was
19.
I was in elementary school when LeBron's Zoom generation came out. So I was like, yeah, I'm into LeBron. And now he's unk in the league, which is nuts.
No, actually.
Like,
It's crazy because how, like, even though he's young, I mean, he's old when it comes to like in terms of basketball, but he's still young. Like, he's
dude,
not an old person.
no, at all. Which
The-
is like, this is so funny how skewed like reality is for like pro athletes versus like regular common folk. Like
yeah,
in the NBA, that's an old head.
for
Out
sure.
and about, hey, that guy is thriving. He's up in Adams still. He probably still in his prime, low key.
Nah, I gotta ask because I did look you up a little bit. I seen you play ball.
I sure did.
So I'm gonna just start off real early. I usually do like the articles, then questions at the
Okay.
end, but I
Yeah.
just want to kick it off. I want you to get cancer right now. Give me your top 3 basketball players of all time.
All time. Okay. No order is definitely Michael Jordan for sure.
Okay.
Um, I got LeBron in there. And my third is Steph Curry.
That's the safest answer you could have gave. I respect I respect that.
Like
I mean,
as someone that has played basketball at a high level, I know exactly what it's like for those guys that have quite literally changed how basketball is played.
mhm.
My wild card person, if I had to throw like a wild card or fourth in there, who this is near and dear to my heart, who I just personally like him a lot. I really love Paul George, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, I really like Paul
Wow.
George. I used to like when he was on the Pacers and they was playing Miami a lot. I was like, yo, Paul George is gonna be that guy. He just couldn't stay healthy, and I was like, well, never mind.
I was about to say because for a minute he was like the it person.
When he
Almost
got a
like
signature shoe, the PG1s, I said, oh, he made it.
it's almost like with I'm gonna butcher his name. Is Zion Williamson? What's his name?
Yeah, yeah, Zion Williamson, yeah.
Like he could never stay healthy. He was like coming out of high school. Era was like, oh, I'm not guarding him, bro. I'm
Bro, he was
cool.
destroying little white boys. They were like, this guy either is like a left back, he got man child, like everything, and then yeah, just can't stay healthy. controversy, too overweight. It's like, damn, you get a chance.
Yeah, I feel that same way about Blake Griffin. Like even though he was like he had a great career, I feel like the way he came in and like his exit, I was like, damn, he could have been so much more than what it was.
Yeah, but he's another one where it's like those are like not once in a lifetime talents, but people that you just think about like, damn, like what could have been for real.
Yeah, you from New York, right?
I'm born and raised New Yorker. Yeah,
What part?
I'm from Long Island, and then I live in Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah. A bunch of people moved to New York, man. Everybody in New York at this point.
No, it's funny because like COVID is a big influx of people from like Ohio, the South, all that. And then in the past like 2 years, people have been like moving back out of New York. Like, yeah, I can't really handle it. It's a little too much. Like, I want like a slower pace. I feel like being a born and raised New Yorker, I didn't realize how fast New York was until I went away to school. And I was like, oh, New York is a different realm. Like you enter it, it's like a portal that just like speeds you up, which could be good or bad depending on who you are. But yeah, born and raised.
Yeah. I think so my homie from Austin moved to New York a couple months back. And I was always under this impression like rent like $1,500, you sharing a bathroom and you sharing a common space. And like his spot that he showed me is actually like a 2-bedroom and like it's enough room and everything. And like what he told me he's paying in rent, I'm like, damn, that sounds cheap. I think he living in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely not that cheap anymore at all. But see, the thing with like New York apartments is that there'll be like a brownstone or it'll be like a house where I feel like other states they build like these apartment complexes where not cookie cutter, but it's like, oh, like it's like a system of a formula. Where like a New York apartment, it could be old as hell, like pre-war, it could be a new building, it could be a house that is an apartment all of a sudden. So you never know what you're gonna get to actually go inside because you never see it from the street.
Yeah. I mean, being from California, bro, moving to Texas, that is definitely one thing I take for granted because these rent prices, boy, oh boy. Especially because I'm not in Austin proper. I'm like on the outskirts. Like even though like I could get to Austin within like the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not in like proper Austin. Like people usually move to like downtown and like Riverside area, but like I'm on the outs. Oh. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to move just yet.
No, I was gonna say when you comfortably can pay under $2,000 for rent and get amenities, it's like where am I going?
In this economy?
Yeah, like, where am I going? Why do I need to leave? Like, why? Like, me leaving right now would just be a pure selfish act. Like, just because I want to say I moved. It's like, I don't know.
Nah, most def. Cool. What's going on, man? It's your boy KLOTH, and I'm back with another video, man. Looking for my start, so I'm not going nowhere. And this is gonna be another segment of Cloth Talk. Now, again, Cloth Talk is just where I'm grabbing the article title, some hype beats and complex, and it's all talking about sneakers and fashion. And I bring people on who have those same passions. Let me tell you this to the guests on today's podcast. This is episode 40. This is a special one. I didn't even know it lined up like that until I checked earlier. I was like, this is episode 40. Just an idea that came to me when I was just trying to find, in between periods, because most of my content is reviewing sneakers or shoes. And I was like, damn, I need to find something else. I can't keep buying shoes in this economy. I need to find something else to do. And I was like, I'm going to call some Cloth Talk. I'm going to just talk about what's going on. And I was like, damn, I made it to episode 40. So not only is this a special episode because I'm talking to you, but this is also like episode 40 is also, I feel like it's a milestone. So
Unk status, your episode's on Unk now.
Actually, this is Unk episode. This is
real Unk now for real.
This the unction, bro. We about to
episode. It's episode 40.
I do not know your first name, so can you just do a quick introduction of who you are? Because I don't want to call you Hanginwithmr. Jones. Even though this is our first time talking, I feel like, I want you to give the proper introduction of yourself.
Of course. Well, yeah, Hanginwithmr. Jones is my screen name, but I'm Winston Jones is my full name, so that's where the Mr. Jones part comes from. Born and raised New Yorker here, and this is dope to be on this episode. Congrats to you on being 40 episodes in. That's not an easy task. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm honored. I'm excited. I've always been watching from afar, up close, and so to now be an honored guest, I'm like, yeah, I can see myself on here now. This is cool.
Nah, it's honoring me, bro. I usually do this at the end too, but I always want to give thanks to people who are like taking the time out of their weekend. They could be doing whatever, getting outside, getting some sun, but y'all sitting here chatting it up with me, talking about the stuff that I like to chat about. So I appreciate you, bro, jumping on here.
Another place to be.
So without wasting no time, man, let's go ahead and jump into this first article. All right, so this article title reads The North Face, and look, I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna be one of those. It's ALD to me.
Everybody know ALD is ALD.
Brace for New York's colder months. All right, so before we actually even get into that, when does it actually start to get cold in New York? So just to give you like context, in Texas, it was like last year around this time, it was like 100 degrees straight for 30 days.
Oh my God.
It's been raining. It's been windy. Obviously, the news that broke with the floods that happened in Texas.
Yeah.
It's been weird weather this year. Like people are like, bro, can you do a summer essential video? I'm like, it hasn't felt like summer yet. The weather has been trash. So when does it really start to feel cold in New York? Because I feel like it's too early just yet.
I feel like New York cold doesn't really set in to you're like, yo, it's brick until like November, end of November. But it's tricky because you may have a couple weekends in a row during like football season where you're like, yo, I need to put the coat on with the beanie, like it's getting up there. But I would say end of November, right at Thanksgiving time into December, where you're like, all right, it's mandatory jacket time. There's no getting by with a jean jacket or something or a good hoodie. Like you gotta get a jacket. Especially if you don't drive. If you don't drive, you need a coat.
Do people actually drive in New York?
Yeah, I got a car. I drive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've literally have never been to New York. I don't know why I haven't been in New York yet. It's going to happen at some point very soon.
Yeah.
But I just like whenever I think of New York, I'm like, just walk. Like I think about it the same way I think about San Francisco, where it's like people who have a car, they hate it because like you drive anywhere and you stuck in traffic most of the day.
I was gonna say it's definitely not the most convenient, probably depending on where you live, because like you just said, I could probably walk and get there in the same 20 minutes, not have to find parking, worry about that stuff, or hop on the train. And it's like, again, a 10-15 minute commute to go somewhere. So it's nice to have a luxury for grocery shopping and stuff like that, but you can definitely get around without it.
Got you. All right, so one more question before getting into this, because we're going to be talking about a brand. This brand is obviously a giant, been around for, I want to say 11 years now. ALD has been around. So prior to getting into that, what are like the top 3 brands that you know, like if you're looking for a desired piece, you know you could go to this brand and you can get something?
I mean, first and foremost, like Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
I would say Ralph Lauren is I could probably get the entire closet just from there if I really wanted to. But I really favor Ralph Lauren a lot. I actually just got into there's another brand. I saw it on eBay actually not too long ago. I'm a big vintage guy. I'm a big eBay guy. So a lot of stuff I have, most of what I own is secondhand, I'll be honest. But Ralph Lauren's another good one. I really started getting into this brand called Wife. It's based in New York. It's like Americana, Western kind of vibe.
How do you spell that? Wife?
It's like WYTHE, I believe. Yeah, WYTHE. Cool people there. And then another one that I really favor and always try to find secondhand is Issey Miyake. I'm like, Issey is just like, color schemes are great. I'm like, silhouettes. It could be like a very basic outfit, like, oh, a blazer and pants, but like the blazer has the pleats and it's like a weird shaped pant. So no matter where I wear, it's like, oh, that looks cool. So I feel like those 3 people I kind of like keep in rotation. But like I said, I'm a big secondhand. I thrift, vintage shop like religiously. So whatever I find in there that just piques my interest is usually the brand I wind up researching heavy into after that.
Yeah, I saw your story yesterday. You like found some jeans. Was it Levi's?
No, those. So the crazy part about those jeans were this brand called like Samurai Denim.
Oh, the Samurai jeans.
Yeah, bro. First of all, they were like $80 in like a size 36, which is what I wear. And I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, these jeans are like $400, like like in a thrift store. Yeah, so stuff like that always, because then I'll research it, deep dive in. I'm like, oh, okay, now I have a new brand to obsess over for like the next week.
You said 36, 36?
Yeah, I'm tall.
Oh, you tall as hell.
Yeah, I'm like 6'4", bro.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that's why a lot of these fashion guys be, average heights and builds. I'm like, listen, I'm putting this shit on, and I gotta be this tall. I work out, so it's like I gotta move around that. Yeah.
People don't talk about how because I went on like a weight gaining journey, like the past 2 years.
Okay.
And I gained maybe like a total of 40 pounds. Like I'm not because I mean I used to be scrawny, bro. I used to be like 130, 140.
Okay.
And obviously the pandemic. I was featherweight for sure. But like during the pandemic, obviously gyms closed. I'm just eating in the crib. I'm chilling. And then when I moved to Texas was a little bit more open, so they had gyms open. And then I remember the day I put on my story. I was like, if I don't stick to a gym schedule, call me a bitch on my story. And I was like, since then, I've just been going to the gym consistently. But like, as I grow, it's becoming harder and harder for me to find things that actually fit me.
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's really, really tough. First of all, shout out to you because you have been consistent with the gym. Your story, first of all, a very entertaining story because your comments and DMs we have me weak. But two, you've been consistent with the gym for sure. I've been seeing the progress, the push-up check-ins, all that.
Oh, yeah.
We don't really talk about what the difficulty it is in wanting to work out and like be a healthy body, but also want to get fly. Like it's really tough to go to a store and buy jeans off the rack, or get a blazer and like a suit. It's like, damn, I could fit the extra large, but it's too big here. But if I size down, it's gonna be a little tight on the shoulder. And then it's like, I'm lazy. I'm like, I don't want to go to the tailor. I'm like, it's like too much work now.
That's literally because I wear a size 36 waist too.
Yeah.
But my pant length is like a 32, something like that. So like, I mean, that's already odd dimensions. Like, who the hell is that? Like short stuff.
Picture the head like, okay, wait, hold on a second. Like,
but yeah, but so to AOD, obviously giant. I mean, whether people want to say their clothes are basic or whatever the case may be, you cannot deny what they've been able to do, not only from like a fashion standpoint, but also just a marketing standpoint. They changed the game. Everybody to some degree has integrated what they do to their brand. 100%. Like, I mean, Teddy Sanders is also just like a giant himself when it comes to like AOD aside, being a creative director for New Balance and all that. So like, when you looked at this article and you was diving into the images and like the collection from this North Face, which North Face also from the Bay, man, San Francisco, shout out to San Francisco. But what was like the first thing that like called out to you?
Anytime I look at anything AOD wise, it always makes me laugh because he's a New Yorker, he's from Queens, but I think most New Yorkers who live here wouldn't necessarily think this guy is like a Queens boy. And I think of like Ronnie Fike, just at his fashion show, their boys. I think about like their backgrounds of getting into like streetwear and street culture and basketball and all that. I always laugh. I'm like, it's basically two white boys, like just like hanging out with their black friends. It's like, oh, it's kind of cool. Like I like hip hop, I like Nas, But what I will say is that anytime I see something AOD, they have such strong branding that you can tell right away that they have this formula to how they present something. Like even if this article right now had no logos on it, there was no headline, and you just put the pictures up, 85% of people would be like, is this AOD?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everybody can copy this formula. And I think other brands, like you said, have copied the formula, putting like the Turkish rugs, the soft, warm backgrounds, getting like, suits with Jordans and all this stuff. So that was the first thought. The second thing, when I saw the teddy bear, because I work at Ralph Lauren, and I was like, hold on a second.
Oh, you work for Ralph Lauren?
I work for Ralph, yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
Like, teddy bear stuff now? I'm like, wait a second. They taking too much of the Ralph aesthetic. They're trying to get crazy.
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep looking forward to it. The only thing with AOD is that I hope they don't get too collab heavy.
Yeah.
I still want them to like keep their integrity of like doing stuff on their own. I feel like collab stuff after a while, it just sounds like attention grabbing or money grabbing, especially now because they got an investment from LVMH, I think, or that was like a speculation for a while. But honestly, the color schemes look dope. The styling is always great. Like I want to know who their styling team is because, like you said, clothes may be basic and maybe straightforward, but the way they put it together gives it new life every single time. Like you can't deny that fact for sure.
No, that's a big fact. Even just in what you just said, I have 3 things I want to say. Like I was just like, first of all, I think I knew that because I think I saw you with Drew Joyner had teamed up. I think I remember him posting something a while ago with you too. But I didn't know if you were actually working for him. That's dope as hell.
Yeah, man. Yeah, 2.5 years now I've been there. Quite a ride.
So this is also I don't know if you're familiar with Brother with a Beard, Kev.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
He also shares the same sentiment when it comes to Ronnie, when it comes to Teddy, about their overindulgence in like the Black experience, let's say in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious on like, what are your thoughts when it comes to like people who are considered outsiders of our community heavily profiting off it? Are like, is there what's the word I'm looking for? Are they responsible or do they need to do anything for the community that they're always romanticizing? Because it's like, if you grew up in that era and you were around that, should they necessarily, like, I'm just trying to like, I think I'm trying to phrase this like, should we then not support this brand or these brands that overly indulge in the Black experience? Or should we then have them, you know, represent us more in the company? Or like, I'm just trying to figure out what would that be, that connecting piece for those brands?
You know, it's like, I feel like the more you learn about fashion brands and just overall clothing history, you realize how many brands profit off of every culture and background. And we don't hold those brands to the same standards sometimes. I feel like with AOD and with Kith, why they get harsher scrutiny is because it comes across as cosplay to some people. You know, where like you don't see them as front facing as other creative directors per se, and then you just see, like I said before, we just saw these images. You'd be like, oh, like they play Nas all the time. They got Raekwon, you know, doing performances. They got like a bunch of Black models, and like these are like a lot of Black references. You're like, oh, this must be somebody who is a Black man born and raised in New York. And then you see who Teddy Tempest is, who's like this Greek guy who did grow up in Queens. You're like, oh, okay, like this feels odd, but I don't necessarily think it's like a Black thing for them to be responsible for. I think if you just did grow up in these communities, you should already be wanting to give back to your own community and uplift your own community. You know what I mean? So even if they weren't doing these aesthetics, if you're from these places, you should still want to pour back into where you're from. I mean, that goes for anybody. I feel like if someone else started a clothing brand, they were from Texas, I would think they want to, you know, hone in on the culture of Texans and give back to that community and uplift that community, not just make an aesthetic out of it, you know, being Western or something like that. I think about like, what's another brand that like, there's a brand called Kartik Research. The guy is actually Indian and he uplifts the Indian community and talks about like Indian textiles. It's not like in a performative manner, it's just bringing light to information. And I feel like one of the struggle points that AOD and Kith doesn't really do well is provide history and context to the things. Especially you got a lot of young kids now who didn't grow up in these eras and only see images from it or, you know, certain highlights from it. They think this is how shit is. It's just this is, you know, you got little white boys now who moved to New York from middle of nowhere and wear their Timbs and have on the sagging jeans and then, you know, play some rap music and think like, oh, it's an AOD thing. It's like, nah, it's much further than that. You got to do your own research. I think that's part of the problem, is that they don't provide enough contextual history as to why they're choosing these motifs and these themes. And I think that's where the frustration comes from. It's like, yeah, represent your hood, represent what you know in your era, but go further. Like, give me some context as to why you like this so much. Give me some context as to why this is being represented now. Give me some context as to why this is going to be pivotal to feed off of. Hence why, but not to be biased, but hence why like the Ralph Lauren Oak Bluff thing did so well, because like, yes, we're providing an aesthetic, we're gonna give you the clothes, but let's dig it further. Let's give you a mini documentary as to why this is so crucial. You know what I mean? But again, that's happens, you have people on your team who are actually from these places and understand like, you know, the cultural implications. I don't know who's on ALD's teams and KISS teams, and maybe a bunch of yes men. They may not have a team, for all I know, that actually like can provide feedback. So that's a whole other like section of working for a fashion brand, probably.
No, that definitely helps in some way add to my perspective too, because I wasn't even thinking about it from the contextual standpoint, but I can see why. I can see how that could be detrimental in the long run, because the literacy rate is becoming worse and worse, and people are not reading, people are not doing the research, they're just going off what they see. So then if you blanket it as this is what ALD is, and this is, my aesthetic is ALD, but like if ALD's aesthetic is rap culture, hip hop culture, and you know, films and movies like that, it's like you don't go into what that is, then you kind of like are whitewashing that history.
Exactly. You're not becoming the forefront of a history that you didn't start.
Yeah, you didn't even curate it. It's almost like those repost pages that just take my content or take other people's content and like
fucking it up and be
it's like, oh, okay, interesting. I didn't think about it like that. I like that.
You can't copyright certain things, right? Like there's certain things that people just have a understood sentiment. Like, you started this, you own this. Like, everyone knows that you started KLOTH Talk, that you're like the forefront of this, right? But someone else all of a sudden could see that, get inspired, quote unquote, like, oh, I'm gonna start something too, like behind the scenes, and they're gonna start doing a whole podcast, and it's like a whole flow, bar for bar. Like, what's Soulja Boy say?
It's happened.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
I'm not gonna talk about it, but it's happened.
Yeah, it's flattering, but also like, damn, son, like, you could just call me.
Yeah, and even to bring up, this would have been a perfect conversation last weekend when I talked about Ralph Lauren and like the 30% increase that they saw across all markets, and like the increase in like their Asian markets.
Yeah,
like I think it was like a 19% increase. I'm just like, it's interesting because even in that conversation, I was like, in every pocket of my life, there's been like a resurgence again of people going to Ralph Lauren. Yep. So like growing up, it was like the khaki cargos with the basketball sneakers, and you had a polo on.
Yeah.
And then moving forward, it's like now, and I'm like, I've kind of moved away from like, let's say polo as a whole, but when it comes to double RL, when it comes to double RL, I'm full in on double RL. That's that ranch wear westerny aesthetic.
Yeah,
that I wasn't even hip to that. But like when I got hip to it, like one of my vests that I got in my closet, double RL, that thing ain't never leaving my closet, bro.
Quality.
Double RL is that. And there's multiple things that fall in it because they got the purple label, right?
They do, yeah.
Double RL, polo,
and then purple label.
And then is there something else, or is it only 4?
You have RLX, which is like performance and golf stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of crazy. I mean, look, the teddy bear is kind of crazy. I'm like,
they had a sweater last year that had like a dog on it instead of like a bear, and I was like,
yeah,
like something upside down, but you know.
It's so interesting too how easy it is to like, because if I see, I think it's a crocodile, I'm thinking Lacoste.
Yeah,
or like even for like LRG back in the day, I think of a giraffe. Or like
a tree, right? Something like that.
Yeah, like it's like a tree, and then I mean for a period of time it was a giraffe.
Yeah, it was a giraffe. Yeah,
it's crazy how like animals have association with brands. Like,
it's really like a takeover. Like everyone know, like this is just like Kobe Bryant, like the Mamba. Like you see a snake on the shoe or something, you're like,
yeah,
with Kobe's. All of a sudden, someone's doing like, wait a second, you got like a rattlesnake on yours? Who do you think you are?
That's so interesting that we can do that. My mind, like the mind register when I see a teddy bear and being like, oh, it's not a teddy, it's a polo bear. It's like,
yo, literally, that's a polo bear. Like if you see a teddy bear in any piece of clothing, you're like, that's a polo bear.
So can you touch on that? How? Because I feel like, I mean, we're growing up in an era where a lot of people want to be brand owners. A lot of people are starting clothing brands. They're trying to figure out what that thing is.
Mhm.
What is your perspective on building such a connectivity to a brand? Like what makes Polo, or if you don't want to talk about Polo, what makes a brand have that connectivity to where like when you see a teddy bear, you're not like, oh, that's a teddy bear, that's a polo bear. Like how do you think a brand gets to that point?
I think it's funny you said. I'm thinking about my own branding as well. Like branding requires, I think, three things. It requires a relatable story. It requires consistency in the presentation. And then third, it low-key requires a little bit of controversy or like something to cause some friction. So I think when it comes to clothing brands, the ones that do well, because clothing is clothing, there's only but so much innovation that can really happen with clothing. But I think of a brand being able to establish a very clear story. That's why I feel like brands that do a bunch of like behind the scenes and like these like documentaries of like, building a collection and all these little like mini movies are really crucial to people falling more in love with the story, and the product just now gives them a piece of that story. And then the second part is like there's consistent presentation. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about AOD. We know when the AOD lookbook or advertisement drops without even putting the words on the screen. We know exactly what this is. We see a Porsche, we see some rugs, and we see,
basketball,
some interesting accessories, without even putting words on the picture. AOD. Like you can put a poster up in Soho right now and have the twin models be up there, put the Porsche in the background, put a basketball with a tux and some Jordans, like, oh, AOD, right? So I think this consistent presentation in their aesthetic, like you have to build that up and you have to like drive it home so much that people know. Like being a movie director, everybody knows a Chris Nolan film. Everybody knows a Wes Anderson
Spike Lee joint.
Like you're waiting for that moment where like the dolly shot. You're waiting for that signature explosion. Like everybody has their signature thing. So I think that helps with branding a lot. And then when it comes to like the controversy part, not necessarily controversy in terms of bad, but it makes you think. Like there's going to be something that a brand does where you have to stop and be like, how do I feel about this? What side am I on with this? Is this provoking thought? Is this provoking me to research something? Is this provoking me to dig a little deeper into it? And so it's amazing too. And I think about like influencers or creatives. Like I really love Bima Williams and like his page.
Oh yeah.
His presentation style, his formula in terms of how he's gonna
sitting upright in that position.
All that. Even with yours, like there's a certain cadence, a certain rhythm to how you're gonna give a review, and people crave that, look forward to that. And then the bonus part of that now, because people are expecting a certain rhythm or a certain presentation or a certain consistency, they start to defend you as well, or put you in comparison with other people. Be like, oh no, you copying so and so. Like we know who the OG of this is. You know what I mean? So you have that strong connection emotionally, and then you have a consistent physical presentation. That's like a perfect formula for branding. And sometimes, honestly, it's also luck, because I think about certain influencers who may do the same thing I'm doing, but some people just like me better. Like they just feel more emotionally invested in watching what I'm doing versus someone else who can be doing the same exact thing, same exact style, information, all that, but something about how I do it just sticks. And that's like kind of like the special sauce that sometimes you really can't explain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I be forgetting sometimes. I'm like, I'm the person conducting it. And I'm like, I'm just soaking in. I'm just listening. I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta get back into directing where it goes. I'm like,
oh yeah, I forgot. My bad. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, bro. I think the biggest thing, and like as cliche as it sounds, the biggest thing is that consistency. Like it's the big. I've seen people have the worst phone quality, content quality, but they post every single day and they garner in views because if people start seeing your face enough, even if they don't like your content, they keep seeing your face. They're like, go ahead, tune in. What this brother talking about? What they talking about? And then you get in, you're like, oh, like he actually cool. And like now you almost associate that camera quality with that person. So you don't even want them to upgrade. You want them to stay exactly where they are with that shit.
Literally. I literally had one of my followers DM me one time because usually when I do my content, it's on my iPhone. I do the same kind of formula. Like I take my phone and I'll start with it facing down. I put the phone up and da-da-da. He literally did me one day. I think I had done a video like in like a studio, like a nicer background and stuff. He's like, hey man, great video. I love what you do. Like, this is so informative, but I kind of miss when you were like out on the street and like doing like just on your phone. He's like, the fancy stuff is cool and all, but like I miss the genuineness of like you doing it this way. And I was like, you know what? Say no more. Because like, if you're verbally saying this, I know it's probably 10, if not more people who are also looking at this the same way and probably scrolling past it because like, oh, it's not Winston. And you keep going.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Also, what phone you got? Y'all phone quality be way clearer than mine.
Yeah, this is a regular iPhone, I think 13 Pro Max.
Ain't no way, because I got a 13. Y'all quality be way better than mine.
I just wiped the camera mad hard before I posted it.
You ever have your friends take a picture of you and it's like blurry as hell, but you take the most fire picture of them? That's how I be feeling about my phone, bro.
I'm like, did I give you the right phone? I'm like, ain't no way. I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, her phone, we have the same phone. She took a video or a picture. I'm like, that looks nice. It's good aesthetic. I'll try to do the same one. And I'm like, why is it's not coming out the same? Must be a height difference. I don't know.
Nah, facts. All right, so to move past this article, what would you give this collection? Because I think this is the full collection. Like, I think every piece that's in here is a part of it. So
yeah,
1 out of 5. How you feeling about it?
It's a solid like 2.5, to be honest with you. only because like it's like this North Face product is not new product. Like you can find this stuff on North Face probably. Now it may be a slightly different colorway and the patch is different, yes. But I'm not gonna advise someone to be like, you gotta get this new AOD North Face joint. I'd rather just buy old North Face and just wear North Face. It's okay.
They might get on your head about that.
It's okay.
AOD got some ride hard fans, bro.
I know the AOD fans literally camp out for Teddy outside the store all the time waiting. But
yeah,
it feels like a little effort. Like it's cool. It's cool. Don't get me wrong.
But you remember? Actually, damn, I'm a yapper. All right, last thing. So we're talking about this is a collaboration. And I always ask people in a sense of when it comes to sneakers, but this could also apply when it comes to like clothing. What makes a good collab? Because obviously we're living in that collab era. Like even Jeff Staples came out and said, look, sneaker companies are over collabing. Y'all ruining the sneaker game. So when you see either scrolling or you see an article, when you see a collab, you like, that's a 10 out of 10. Like what comes to mind when you think of that?
I think when it comes to collabs, it has to align. Like the story has to make sense or cross paths organically. Like it just can't be like when McDonald's started doing a bunch of collabs with like Travis Scott, Offset, Cardi. Like it was after a while, it was like this is too much. Now you're just picking any name that has a buzz and putting it together. Like this doesn't even go together. So I feel like a good collab, the story, the brand aligns or cross paths where like it can make sense cohesively. Second part of that, I think a good collab provides something new, like a new silhouette, a new storyline, new colorways. Like I think my favorite collabs, I know we're going to talk about him later, is Salehi. When he did the Crocs, Bro, that's a great collab because one, you have somebody who is low-key a behind the scenes guy, and like you bring him to the forefront. People are like, who's this guy? Like, oh, he did the chain sneaker, he did this, he knows Kanye. Like, oh, snap, this guy's like important. New silhouette, whole new colorways. I think the way they went about releasing it made it cooler in terms of like nature and learning about that, had like these secret access codes and stuff like that. Like those, to me, those collabs when they could be like a full world or a full story, make it cool versus, hey, we're gonna release these 5 products, we put our logo on it, have fun. You know, it's just like an attention grabber.
A brand that I always shit on, which I think rightfully so, is Jown. I think everything they do is so lackluster, and I understand that company is like, that's like their aesthetic, like that simplicity.
Yeah.
But it's like it's always just a name slap. It's never nothing more. Solomon, New Balances are cool. Solomon, the Reeboks, okay, the Timberlands was kind of cool. All right, but in most cases, Jown just puts their name on it and they hike it up $50 to $60 more. And I'm like, bro, that doesn't make sense to me why they do this.
And that's the hard part. I think consumers nowadays are much more strict with their dollars. Like you said, in this economy, people cannot afford to be dropping $250
facts
on shoes anymore. Like for mediocre.
Yeah.
Like the kid, like that Jown Solomon collab, I did like that blue colorway. That colorway is fire. But I can probably find that colorway from Solomon. Like I'm sure Solomon has something relatively close to that colorway for regular Solomon price. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. I agree with you heavily on stuff like that, like just logo slap and low effort, and then mark it up 50%. It's like, damn, you just really trying to just take my dollars for real.
Yeah, no, facts. You gave it a 2.5. I personally growing up in the Bay Area, North Face was that. Everybody wanted the North Face. So I'm gonna be real. Maybe I just missed the collab, but like this Sherpa type texture on this like traditional silhouette is gas to me. I've never seen it before.
This colorway is nice too. I will admit, this colorway is nice.
They kind of did change it just a little bit. I'm gonna give it out of 5. It's a solid 3, and I'll probably do a 3.5.
That's fair.
It's not like breaking the mold, but you know, it's definitely dope to see.
Yeah, that's a fair comparison. I do like the fireman jacket. I will say the clasps on that.
Oh yeah, that is fire. That's not even like necessarily my aesthetic. I would get it just because
I would actually wear that. I can see myself wearing.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into this next article. All right, so this article title reads: Salehi Benberry teases new footwear. Teases his new footwear brand. And we already started talking about it to some degree, but also just hate this generation because like anytime you start giving someone praise, it's considered glazing. It's like, bro,
but then
it'd be the same people would be like, y'all didn't even appreciate him when he was here if they like so happen to pass. So it's like, I've been saying this for a very long time. Salehi Benberry has literally changed the game when it comes to sneakers. Some of the stuff that he does, either whether it be colorways, textures, I literally have never seen it done before. He has changed the fucking game. And honestly, even just his resume, bro, like worked for Cole Haan, worked for Yeezy, worked for Grades, worked for Versace, and like a shoe that I needed in my closet and I got back in 2021 or 2022, the Yeezy Season 3 boot. That boot is legendary. I had to get a pair.
Still coveted to this day.
Bro, insane. And he was a part of the team at that time. So it's just like his resume is ridiculous and it only continues to get ridiculous. So before talking about these shoes in particular, what would you say is like some of his like what's his best work? Let's say like 2. Let's say when you think of his collabs that he's done. Let's choose 2.
When I think of his collabs, I think Crocs is the first one that comes to my mind. And after watching his interview on, I think it was Complex, like learning more about him, I would say my favorite was Cole Haan actually too as well. Not necessarily for like, I probably would purchase the shoes, but him explaining the business side of like going into design and like trying to ignite newness for more heritage brands. Um, so even like the chain reaction sneaker, like to go to Versace. So Versace doesn't even make sneakers, like first of all, and then to go there, like I'm gonna make a, y'all want me to make a sneaker, and I'm gonna have this such imaginative mind to like create this chain link soul look. Because man, when that came out, first of all, that was like every rapper's shoe right there. Skinny jeans, chain reactions on, like Balmain denim or something. Like that was impressive. Yeah, he's super creative. And he seems like a super humble person, which I think I really why I like him so much. Yeah, those are my I say my favorites.
Yeah, I think that it's like, I follow him on social media. He seems just very personable too. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like he doesn't seem out of reach like some of like these fashion or like sneaker designers. Like they have like this like mysterious vibe to them. They don't. I feel like I could approach him and just say what's up and like it'd be cool.
facts.
Man, if I had to choose two, it'd definitely have to be the Magma Behots. That New Balance pair, even just
I
that
love that.
that pack is just, it was so exclusive. It was like, I don't even think it dropped on New Balance's website. It was only on his site, and it wasn't many pairs that dropped.
Yeah,
That pair is ridiculous.
I forgot about that. That's a good one too. Damn, that colorway was fire.
And I really hate to stay in the New Balance realm because he's done a lot. But that Water Be the Guide,
Yeah,
I told myself, I was still living back home when those shoes dropped. I told myself, no matter what the resale price is for the shoes, I'm buying them. I don't never do that.
he said that was me back then. But
That was during the pandemic. I was getting that unemployment money. I said, I don't care what
they
the
had the
price
stimulus
is.
checks coming in. This is my chance.
I said, whatever the price is, resale, because I didn't hit retail. I was like, whatever the price is, I'm going to pay it. Which I think I only spent like, I think that was like 175-ish. I think I only dropped like 250 on them when they
Okay,
like,
so go crazy.
I bought them immediately after. Like, because I don't know if you ever shopped on Grailed. Like, people just post a picture. They don't even have the shoes. They just post
Yeah,
like,
they're like, yo,
confirm.
they put like, yeah, they put like, I have confirmed, but put like, yo, I just hit on the drop or whatever.
Yeah.
They'll be here like 2 weeks.
So yeah, those two, bro, it's just like the texture, the color. Like again, the color
too. Like he
bro,
actually makes shoes that are comfortable. Like that's another thing too. I think people don't really understand. Like he's about function.
yeah.
Like, is this shoe actually wearable? Is it comfortable? Because I think he even talked about like himself, like not having feet problems, but like he's like, I'm not wearing something like I can't actually like work it.
And all his New Balances have the cork insole, which honestly, I don't know why more companies don't do that, because like I've never had an issue with odor when it comes to those shoes. I never have an issue like if I'm sweating, like whatever case that I may not have socks on that day. That'd be crazy. But I've never had an issue with those shoes, and I've had those shoes for a long time, and I put a lot of wear into them. So he's insane. He's insane.
Smart man too. Like you tell he's like well researched and stuff like that. Like he's gonna be a student.
So when it comes to these, we talked about the grades. When it comes to these, is this aligned with something that you would actually wear?
For my personal style, no. Like off of looking at it, I probably wouldn't purchase this. However, what it would make me do though is look more into him and like his design philosophies. I think that's what's cool about him starting his own footwear brand is you have someone like you said with a really long and impressive resume, and then you see him taking this leap of faith to do his own thing. It's a true testament of how strong his personal brand is. You know what I mean? Like people may like New Balance, they may like Crocs. People like Salehi. They're like, if he's making something, I'm purchasing it. And I think looking at this shoe it's a great combination of like futuristic, kind of chunky, but it has some elements of like classic shoes involved with it. Like I think of like Asics and Brooks running shoes. Like, it has that kind of look to it. I think it's pretty dope. The whole like hiking shoe trend is really big and stuff like that still. So I think it'll do well. Yeah,
I think what I appreciate about not even just like when it comes to him and his shoes, but like people who don't always just opt into the route of doing what they know will sell. Like I think to some degree, he's a very smart person. To some degree, he knows everybody's not going to gravitate to this.
Yeah.
It's not a Adidas Samba. It's not a Jordan 1. It's not a, the more popular type silhouettes. I can always appreciate when people be like, I'm not going to go that tradition, or I'm going to do something, because there are some sneakers that have come out in the past. Like, for example, I love the Clog Posit, even before it redropped, but it was just too ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Like dropping that in like the early 2000s, you just wasn't going to do that. And I feel like this is one of those type shoes where it's like, it may not be like a streetwear rocking it with a fit, but like, I'm going to the gym in this. And I might go on a run in this. Or I might just casually go get groceries, go run errands in this. Like, that purpose can be served with these.
I feel like with this shoe, it's gonna be really popular among like the Japanese crowd. I feel like the Japanese, like Asian market, is really into like tactical gear and like these functional things. Also a city where people walk a lot. So if this shoe is that comfortable like that and this eye-catching, they can wear like what I have on right now, like some all black or something. Throw that shoe on with like their cargos, or throw it on with whatever, and it's gonna be comfortable, functional, but so eye-catching and so odd. Almost to the point, like, the ugly shoe trend. People are like, it's so ugly, you kind of like it. Like, this is gonna be that thing. And like, you have a good point. He's not worried about necessarily the dollars. Like, I think he's at a point where he's comfortable enough to take whatever's in his mind and make it without needing the backing of another brand or people to make dollars. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing this on his own. That's you know someone's really made it. Like, they can just do something on their own and not have to worry about the return necessarily, or like, what money do we make on this? So that's what make it come and make it.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is like Asian markets for sure, but I think amongst that core aesthetic people, this is going to bang. I think that the people who like heavily rock Arc'teryx jacket and they're trying to find the jacket to match the shoes, I think this is where it's going to bang too.
Yeah.
Also, it's just funny as hell. I have like a vision board on my wall right next to me, and like just a list of names: Jay Tips, Salehi, Joe Freshgood, Blackstock and Weber dude.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Chris and Wisdom and Tremaine.
Yeah.
Even though I feel like, this is obviously not talking about Slade. I feel like people shit on Tremaine, and I love Denim Tears. I think sometimes he kind of goes overboard. Like chicken bone necklace, bro. Like
that's a little much. It's a little much. But again, I think, like I said before about branding, like that controversy. And I've actually got to speak to him in person a couple of times. And like hearing more about his background and his story. Like I said, he's at a point now where he just wants to make whatever the fuck he wants to make. You know what I mean? And like he wants you to probably be a little triggered and talk about it. And like, okay, good. Like have a conversation. Like think about it. Like Virgil, he was the same way. Like he would talk about like, say, I want you to question what I'm doing and think about what I'm making, and then have a conversation and have better thoughts. Great, encourage that versus like safe route.
Yeah, and I feel like people only associate Denim Tears with like the reef.
Yeah,
and it's like when I started getting more into like some of the pieces, like the collections here to drop, I'm like, wait, that bomber jacket is fire. Or like that gingham shirt is fire. Like there's way more than just that reef. And also I appreciate when certain stories are being told by somebody that's from there. Like we talked about earlier, like, kids today might not know who Marcus Garvey is. So even if you just put on a shirt and then a kid's rocking it, it's like, they think it's just a cool shirt, but then it's like, do you know what that is? It could be a teachable moment in that moment. So like, I think I agree with what you said. I think that controversy is needed for sure, because obviously I'm talking about it now. People talk about it. But there is like diminishing returns of that. Cause like watermelon tea sometimes is just like, it's like, I get like, it's like, as a black person, I understand it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, sometimes it's like, it's over the top.
And honestly, I feel like some designers, like will admit, like, hey, that was a miss. Like, I thought I was gonna have something to, be this artful interpretation, and it backfired. Like, all right, it backfired. Like, it is what it is. Good thing we saw enough, cotton reefs, hoodies, and sweatpants that we can make up for it.
Man, he dishing them out like hotcakes.
They're like Nike tech suits, man.
Nah, for real.
They're making fakes of them and everything. It's crazy.
Dude, I remember, this is also another side point. There was this protest in Berkeley during like the George Floyd incidents.
Yeah.
And the people protesting was being met by like opposition, like telling them to leave and go over, like move. There was this Mexican guy, had a cotton reef, full set on, calling people N-words and all time. I'm like, what is the odds of you rocking a full reef?
The jokes write themselves. But see, that's like you said, like, I think that's like another part of it. People want to protect certain things because of stuff like that, where, like you said, someone may be wearing the Marcus Garvey t-shirt, have no idea who he is, and maybe exuding behaviors that are complete opposite of what he stood for. So that's another part where the old generation is like, we kind of don't want to release these things because we want to protect these people. We want to protect these artifacts and this history because we don't want people now having the power to disrespect them.
Yeah.
Again, it's the crazy, like, it's just a lot of like what goes into when I think about branding and clothing, like how powerful the messaging can really be, or destructive for that matter.
Yeah. I've seen a legit racist wear a Malcolm X tee.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, great.
Insane. Insane. It's insane behavior.
I see people obsessed over Japanese denim and Japan itself, Japan women and all that. Almost to the point of like a fetishization, and then be the same person like, get out of here, go back to your country, or crazy stereotypes. I'm like, literally jokes right themselves.
All right, cool. I mean, personally, I don't intentionally do this, but like, I like things that people don't like. So
same.
When it comes to this sneaker, it may not get like the hype that like, like let's say a Union LA drops another Jordan 1. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously that's going to get more attention. But like, I like stuff that like everybody's not gravitating to, because I know if I'm rocking it, then I'm probably one of like the few who actually have this. So
yeah, I
will give this 1 out of 5. I'll get this a solid 4.
Creativity wise, I 4.
Yeah, it's solid. And I would actually buy it. I think I'm gonna look into it. I don't think he had just like briefly showed some on his story. I don't think there's an official release date for these yet, but I think when they do come out, I might look and seeing like, I might have to look.
Because knowing him too, is probably some really good materials too. Like, crazy, like recycled this and these like, cushions in here. So like, I'm excited to see more from it.
Especially, I mean, he worked his way up all the way to vice president of sneaker design at Versace. You have connections. So
at one point, he was working at Payless or something like that. I would buy it for the story. As I said before, like, I buy into the story. I'm like, yeah, I can support this.
Kids today don't know what Payless is. They don't know what Payless is, man.
Back in my day,
moms used to walk in there and get 5 pair of shoes and just be. You didn't spend a total of $50.
5 shoes, $50. You set for the whole school year. The next school year, good.
Go to Diddy's discount, Marshalls, bro. Run up a bag.
I was a Marshalls fiend. What?
Marshalls is it. Marshalls and Ross used like you can still today get good stuff.
Polo from Marshalls. I got the quarter zip. I got the tees. Yeah.
But sometimes it'd be too many people on a horse on there. And then you'd be like, I don't know what's going on. It ain't supposed to be 11 people on a horse. So. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and jump into this next article. So Pharrell and Adidas Virginia Jellyfish sneaker officially dropped next week. I'm going to just right out the gate. I'm going to just say it. These are dirt. I ain't gonna lie. This is some of like these. I didn't like it when Balenciaga did it. I didn't like it when Gallery Department did it. I don't like this overly big runner type shoe. I just think it's dirt. There's nothing special about this. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I have to.
I am 100% in agreement with you. I don't like this silhouette. I never liked the chunky shoe. I tried, but I have a size 13 foot and I'm already tall. And I'm like, these chunky shoes is further emphasize clownery. I think what makes it even more of a slap in the face of people is that they're $300.
Yeah, insane.
This is an Adidas shoe for $300. That's not a Yeezy.
Insane.
People are like, who does Pharrell think he is? You know, and I think now the shoe details, like on the paneling, I think are pretty cool to look at. But this is not a shoe that was necessary. Like,
especially just coming from him. It's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
You
like,
couldn't have
people wear shoes like that anymore.
Who, like, I don't know, that Lego movie.
Cowboy boots.
That Lego movie must have got to him, bro. That Lego movie must have got to him because this is just insane.
Yeah.
This is, I gotta show this just because, like, this is the Pharrell sneaker that. Hold on, let me present something else.
See, because
when he was doing all this, the NMDs,
boy,
he could bring these out today.
When the Human Race Pack came out, those,
bro,
people were fighting in the streets to get a hand on these,
bro.
And when he did the 50 color pack for like Adidas Superstars back in the day,
and like, those was actually fire.
Those was fire too, like the straight monochrome, like 50 pairs of shell toes or Stan Smiths. Like he was heavy into that. Again, I don't know. I think, like I said, people are so critical now of what their money's being spent on that a $300 just chunky sneaker that has Virginia on it. Again, this feels like one of those things where big name and a brand. This should sell out. Like, this is perfect, guys. Like, people should be going crazy over this. And people are like, that's it?
Bro. When I read $300, I was like, oh, that must be like what people are reselling somewhere. Like, there's $300 for these shoes, bro.
And I think what makes it worse is that because Adidas does great collabs with Wales Bonner. See, now Wales Bonner to me is like a very intentional designer. Like every Samba that she's released, every other Adidas shoe, like people genuinely want and go after because it looks like if Adidas can release this shoe by itself, like if no Pharrell name is on this would sit in the shelf at Adidas.
Facts.
The Wales Bonner one, it looks like a higher premium grade of Adidas. You're like, oh shoot, like this is probably a little more fancy. Like look at the laces, the tongue, like all this stuff. This shoe right here, this is an outlet Adidas store find.
Oh, the outlet workers like, you want those? Now let me show you something else, bro.
Like these is sitting on the back shelf talking about the extra 20% off. Like this is not a shoe that feels worth $300, cool enough for $200. And I think it's just, again, an attention grabber because he has a new Virginia, like, what is it, agency or like creative collective, something like that. He was better off doing merch for that instead.
And that merch was trash too, I'm not gonna lie. The actual merch, the t-shirt, I think they did a tote bag and a couple of little, that it was dirt too, because it just had Virginia on it. And it was like, bro, I don't know what eggs are $10, gang. We need to figure it out. I don't like you're for real, bro. Like
this is harp so much on people who get too famous that are so disconnected from current realities. Now the chunky sneaker trend is kind of over.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's not over, but it's like personally. Mm-hmm. And just being somebody who consumes sneaker content, somebody who likes sneakers and talk about sneakers, it's not even the fact that it's a chunky sneaker. It's all this extra bullshit, and then all the extra bullshit, and then the colorway is just snooze, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
The
like
colorway
is a regular Adidas looking shoe.
Like had the upper here where all the parts are white, had that been another color. And then you could have like just do something different. This could have been white. This could have been black. This could have been like I don't know. Like I don't know how to necessarily fix this. Obviously, it's not a shoe that I would rock. but it's like it is a snooze fest. I wouldn't even blink twice.
I think a shoe like this, in order for people to get hyped into it, it needs more storyline about Pharrell. Like, you know, people know that the Lego movie did a good job of giving him his background, but it needs to be more of like Virginia, the beach culture. The rollout should have been slower to build more interest in like Virginia itself, about jellyfish. You know what I mean? Like, then these details would have made more sense to people. But just slapping the shoe out there, like calling it jellyfish, no one's gonna take the time to look into more of the details. They just look at the shoe and be like, "Oh, this is cool. $300, man. That's all right." Like, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, that's not
okay. I got a question.
Too,
oh no, keep going, keep going.
Now I was gonna say, I think too, like people are either two extremes. Either like they're a Jound audience, where it's like they like the minimal, clean, simple aesthetic, or like if they're going loud, like they want to go loud. Like the Salehis are a loud shoe, and it's like fully all the way loud. Where it's like crazy colorway, the silhouette, the materials, I like that's hyped. That's interesting. This feels like you wanted to be innovative, but you kind of played it safe, but like, you know, you want to be on the trend. It just felt too in between, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is also like it's just lackluster. But the question that I have for you then, based on something that you said, if a shoe does not look good, but the story sold you, would you still buy it?
Oh, for sure. There's definitely shoes that I bought because of the story.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because in my mind, I'm like, I can have something to talk about now with somebody else. Like, for example, what shoe did I buy? Like, for example, the Celine inspired Vans.
Oh,
the shoe was dope. The shoe was cool.
I'm about to say that's not ugly.
No, it's not an ugly shoe, but like I had to think of something like that had a story to it. Now people like, cause somebody else like, why are you wearing those beat up Vans?
Yeah, okay.
And then I'm explaining the story behind it. It's like, boy, that's kind of interesting. Like I'm kind of seeing it now. You know what I mean? That's probably a bad example, but I think like if a shoe is okay but has a fire story, you're kind of into it. You're kind of buying into that story. Again, but that's only for a certain price point.
Yeah.
you can't have an okay shoe with an okay story and it's $300. You're like, nah, I don't like Pharrell that much.
Maybe I'm just a little strict. A shoe cannot be ugly. Point blank, period, hard stop. Like the story can be fucking Chris Nolan level, in-game level, fucking avenge. Like if the shoe sucks, I'm just not touching it.
Yeah.
So it could be like just maybe in between, but if it's, I just can't do it. And I think that's. Well, first of all, I wasn't buying a shoe that looked like this anyways. So
it's not exciting at all.
Yeah.
Not an exciting shoe.
And it's like, maybe again, I'm 28. When I think of $300, I'm like, I could get a pair of Our Legacy jeans, and I could get another T-shirt. That's two items. I can get two items with this. Why would I spend my whole $300 on this?
I think nowadays too, like shoes aren't the fit anymore.
Oh, that's a
like when I was younger, Old Navy cargo shorts, random T-shirt, but my shoes were gonna be like top tier. Nowadays, I can get a good simple shoe. Like I can wear Vans, and if anything else in the fit is fitting, yo, that fit is fire. I could wear Converse, Adidas Stan Smiths. People are wearing flip flops. Like people are wearing flip flops now.
I'm not on that either, though. I can't do that.
I tried that one. I was like, this is for a moment, but it's not for me. I think it was so like shoes aren't like a major focal point for a lot of people's fits anymore. It's still a big deal, but it's not big enough a deal to take over the jeans and the shirt you have on and stuff like that. So for $300, like you're saying, somebody's like, yo, I can go on Grailed or eBay right now, get this Dore denim jacket. I can also get these jeans. I can even probably throw in one more item, this vintage T-shirt I've been waiting on.
Literally.
I get a whole fit off for $300 and keep the shoe that I have still.
Mm-hmm.
I think the $50 price point was probably the biggest factor of making it a thumbs down.
Yeah. You could have got you could have got 3 pairs of those samurai jeans. like
Yo, for
what
real.
are we
That's
really
another
talking
thing too. I
about?
think nowadays the younger generation is really into thrifting and like making their own clothes and being crafty. So like a kid will see this right now and be like, I can make that instead.
Oh, that's
You
true
know what I
too.
mean? So like I
Yeah.
feel like that's another thing too. Like this is further provokes people to make their own. It's just the same thing that I hate to keep bringing him up, but like Virgil literally said that he was like, if you don't like something that I'm making or you feel it's too expensive, like say, I want you to go make your own thing now. So I think this is
Yeah.
one of those moments where people are gonna be like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
And I think my last talking point on this is I also just this generation is so interesting because I could be a genuine fan of like, let's take Pharrell out of this, but like Salehi,
Mhm.
genuine fan of him. I've
Mhm.
spent money to purchase things that he's put out.
Yeah,
But when he does something that I don't like, I'm gonna be vocal about it just the same way I'm gonna be vocal about when he does something good. And I feel
yeah,
like you can only in this generation teeter to one side. You either really hate this person or you really like them. You can't be in the middle ground because it's like, oh, but don't you own multiple pairs of his shoes? It's like, well, this pair sucks. And
yeah,
I should be able to tell you that this pair sucks.
yeah.
Like,
It's like being a fan of a certain artist. Do I like these projects? Of course, but I can admit when that song is ass.
yeah,
You know, like just because I'm a fan doesn't mean I'm having this undying loyalty now. Like, oh, I have to defend him.
yeah, no, it's weird.
Very.
Especially like during like that whole Drake Kendrick beef, people like
Oh,
pick a side.
love
They're like,
it.
somebody, a grown man told me to pick a side. I was like, bro, I am 28 years old, bro.
It's like I like
I
music.
I have a life outside of this. I'm not giving a fuck about this on a
He's like,
daily,
this
bro.
is my gym playlist. Like, I'm just listening to the music, bro. Like,
Bro, people are like on the people that's on that side of the spectrum where like it's extreme.
yeah,
Can't even have conversations with them, bro.
it
I'm like,
concerns me a little bit. I'm like, what are you doing your free time all day? That you have this much ammunition to talk about this.
all right, cool, perfect. It's always that's why I love doing the articles first because I feel like if I did the personal questions first, it's like I wouldn't have all this extra information going into the personals.
Word.
So now that I have like some type of basis to build on, I think it's only gonna add to when we talk about
Yeah.
more about you.
Gives
Um,
that context you need to like
yeah.
conversation. Yeah.
So something that I'm interested in because I try to scroll very far on your page. I didn't get very far. I like you got a bunch of videos, but like I went to like the static images.
Yeah.
I probably did maybe 5 scrolls. I was like, damn, I hit the bottom. So I'm very interested, being that you have a basketball background, being from New York. Obviously just being around a bunch of like whether it be music, art, and all that. So like, where does like your constant journey like start? Like, what is that starting point for you?
Yeah. Starting
Because
point
you
for me
because
is
you have a huge platform. I don't know if you know that. You have a huge platform.
it hit me the other day when I was and it hits me at random moments all the time when I'm like out in public and someone recognizing me or a certain brand contacts me. It's always like certain like little reminders because again, when I think about just the community of people that create content, I'm always looking at like other people who are bigger than me. I'm like, okay, like hey, I see what they do, whatever. I don't think about like people who are just starting out looking at me like, damn, I'm trying to get to that. But for me, it started, I would say I started taking it very not say seriously, but I started being more intentional about making content. This was I used to be a teacher. That's where the name came from. I
Oh,
used
okay.
to teach high school students, and so I would post videos on TikTok about like my fits that I was wearing to work that day or whatever. Just kind of like silly stuff just to do something. And this was November of like 2021. I wrote it in my journal. Actually, I still have it. November 2021. I think on TikTok I had like 5,000 followers, and that was just off of like honestly this luck. Like wasn't really having a formula or a system. Started then, and from then I was like, you know what? By Thanksgiving, I want 25,000 followers. And here's how I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna have these video topics. I'm gonna post, 3 times a day, whatever. I had 20,000 followers within a week, but at that point,
Ooh.
by Thanksgiving, I think I had like 50K. So I was way past my goals at that point. So this is probably now what 3 years in of like making content. It all started from that moment, like 2021 November. I was like, okay, here's the plan. Here's how I'm gonna do it, and yeah, been riding out ever since then. It's crazy.
So like there wasn't, it was more so like something to do in the meantime. It wasn't like I'm gonna start posting to X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, it was more so of like I just want to share what I'm interested in, and it wasn't the thought of like, oh, like I can be an influencer. It was more so like, oh, this is kind of fun, something to do. And I personally was just looking to get like some free stuff. I'd be like, oh, people send stuff to me. I can like talk about it or wear it. I was like, this would be fun. Like, this sounds cool. Um, Another thing for me too, like I'm really genuinely interested in clothing and fashion. Like, I used to read like GQ magazines as a kid, stuff like that. And so for me, it was like I can get into the fashion industry by talking about it online somehow.
Mm.
This is a possibility where I could be a part of these conversations, be in these rooms. I could travel, go to shows or whatever. So like let me actually start making content to figure out like more about my own style and history, but also like people recognize me and also get invited to stuff, you know?
I think that's a major flex. Being invited, like getting stuff is cool, but it's like I can't eat clothes. But like flying out for an experience, that is like that's where it's at.
That's when it really hits you. Like you value my presence, my opinion. Those that are the reminders, you're like, damn, like it's crazy how me talking about something, nerding out, leads me to being in this room now. It's crazy.
Okay, so then I have two follow-up questions to that. Cause I think I need a little bit more. And I think there's gonna be people who watch this who will want more context. So out of high school, you go to college. What did you go to college for?
I went to college for psychology and education, childhood education studies. So I double majored. Um, so that's what my college was for. I was playing basketball. Um, and then, so yeah, I graduated in 2019 as well. Started student teaching and coaching basketball. December, like that's when COVID started to be a conversation. Then by March, it was like, yep, that's it, shut down. Which was funny because I was already in the process of going back to school for my master's. So I had a lot of time of like stillness to like really think about just not even career, but like legacy. Like, what am I going to do in my life? Like, what are people going to like know me for? That one, like, am I going to be a contributor to certain things? Like, what is going to be my namesake? So after COVID, went back teaching for a little bit, and then after like that first year of teaching, I was like, I'm out. Like, I can't. Like, and it wasn't like I didn't like it. I just really loved clothing and fashion more.
Mm.
So I left, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna start fresh. I worked retail. Worked at Aritzia. I was in there, being like a styling associate and learning how to like merchandise, how to like sell clothing. You know what I mean? And talk about clothing to customers. I think that's what helped me a lot with my content too, is like being able to explain something in the simplest and easiest terms possible, where people gaining from value out of it versus like very commercialized like selling. It was like, no, like here's why you should do this thing or buy this thing for X, Y, and Z reasons. And here's why you shouldn't do this or whatever. So once I did retail for like 6 months, great experience, a lot of connections. It was like holiday season, and that's how I was like, oh, okay, this is a little too much. Like retail is exhausting.
Yes.
So I was like, this is crazy, especially at a store like that. I'm like, yo, these girls are insane for these leggings. So I was like, okay, I want to work in corporate fashion. What's the plan? And every time I made a big decision, it's always like, write it down. Let's plan this out. What are the steps? What do you talk to? So I was like, Lee, I still have the journal to this day. And I was like, here are my 5 goals for 2023. I was like, number 1, work at Ralph Lauren. Off the rip. I was like, I
Damn.
don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. So I was like heavily on LinkedIn. Like I would say heavy on LinkedIn. I was sending out connections to everybody and everybody. I would had like 40 messages of like, hey, I'd love to chat for a coffee. Here's my resume. Boom, like this, send them out. Saw a position at Ralph Lauren open up for like an entry level position, and I have no background in fashion whatsoever. But I was like, I have passion and I have some skills. Like I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a way. But I was talking to everybody to try to get a job in like corporate. Applied, said a prayer. I was like, all right, if it's meant to be, let it be, God. And upon a Friday, I got emailed back on like a Tuesday, the following week for like a phone interview. So once I saw that, I said, I'm in. Like phone interview, I was like, okay, I can get my feet wet. Like they'll see how passionate and excited I am about something. It's not like just like some fluff. Had the phone interview off the rip. Like she loved me. She was like, I think this will be a good fit. Had the in-person literally like Thursday. So it was like 2 days later. Go for the in-person. And this is where it really set in, like, I'm bad at work here. Like I walked into the office and I'm like, I see big ass Ralph Lauren picture on the wall. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna work here. Like this is meant for me. Had an interview in person. It was great, loved it. I was supposed to have a third interview, but I think the person had went on leave or something like that. So they were like, oh, we'll call you on Friday. That felt like the longest 24 hours of my life. Oh my God. Like,
I'm thinking you thinking next week. You said
the next day. I'm like, oh my God. Because they had to fill the position fast. They had to do like 3 positions open. They were trying to get them like filled as soon as possible. So Friday comes, and the person was like, the recruiter was like, oh, I'll probably call you around like 11. 11:15 comes, I'm like, well, that's it, y'all. Like, I had a good run, like it's over. And then she like emails me at like 11:18. It's like, hey, you available for a quick 15-minute phone call? I said, I got it. Like, anyway, you're gonna call me and tell me no. I was like, you call me and tell me no, I'm gonna be pissed.
That'd be sick.
I'll be
Put
like,
that in email.
Here. But yeah, she called me. She's like, is anything going? I was like, yeah. She's like, I'll show you know why I'm calling. We're gonna move forward your application, whatever. And yeah, that was February of 2023, and been there ever since.
Oh, damn. So yeah, you got some time in there now.
Yeah, now I feel like I'm at that point, not like a veteran, but like I'm showing other people the ropes now. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think like there's like 2 major takeaways just from like hearing your story is being comfortable with pivoting. There's so many content creators I talked to, went to college for this thing. They thought they were going to do this thing. They're like, but like their passion wasn't that thing necessarily, or they may have had like multiple passions, but they're like, dude, I need to go full in on this because this is what I actually give a fuck about. And I feel like that time period of like people trying to discover where they want to go, and the pandemic crossed at the perfect time.
For sure.
Like the pandemic either really broke some people or really set some people up to like, finally get the time to like think about what they want to do with life, deal with some battles that they haven't been dealing with, and like really hone in. Because like I thought I was gonna be fucking working for some corporate company where it's like 600 employees are in the office and like I'm sitting in a cubicle. I really thought that was my life. I used to wear suits way more often. I always hated wearing suits. I hated it. So then during the pandemic, I got furloughed from my job, and then I eventually got laid off. And I was like, damn, what I do? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna start taking pictures of myself.
Yeah.
Just to do something, because I was in California. It was strict. You couldn't even go outside for real.
Yeah, they were on lockdown.
Yeah. And then I got paid for the first time $100 to make a post, and I was like, oh, okay.
Literally. You're like,
oh, okay. Okay. So I like just like as many content creators that I talk to, I always hear that pivoting aspect of like their story. Like, I want to do this. Even with Drew Joyner, he was like, I want to play ball. Like basketball is my thing. And he was like, and I went to fashion. And something else in hearing your story is manifesting. Like, I got this job. You don't even got it yet. He was like, no, I got it. This is my job.
There's just certain things that you know are meant for you. And I think I don't want to confuse anybody that yes, manifest, yes, speak into existence, but you gotta also align yourself with your manifestations. You know, I can't talk about the gym, for example. Oh, I want to do 10 pull-ups. And then I never either A, do the practice pull-ups, I never go to the gym, I never, you know, talk to people that can do 10 pull-ups and learn from them. You know what I mean? Like you have to align yourself and make sure that whatever your manifestations are consistent with the actions. Like those two go together. It's not one or the other. And so yeah, like once I wrote it down and put it out there and visualized it, like this is going to be truth. I made sure I did everything in my power where that truth could be a reality. I don't want to, you know, do a disservice to myself of saying, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then I don't even follow up, you know?
Yeah. Something else. This is a key takeaway. If y'all watching this, I mean, at this point, like the video. Why you ain't like the video yet?
Obviously, you got too far into it at this point.
But at this point. But writing shit down, this journal is from 2018. I still use it. Yeah. So like I like ideas, where I want to be. I have journals from like again 2018 where it's like, this is just how I'm feeling today. And that's like, it's just dope just to go back and be like, damn, that's the mindset that I was even in back then. Or like, damn, I was at a dark point at this point in my life. And like, look, I was able to come out of that. So journaling is I definitely heavily advise that.
It's funny because like journaling, like you look at the whole pivoting thing, I realized like how consistent I actually am in my life. Even like my style choices. My girlfriend makes fun of me for this, but she's like, you buy the same thing over and over again. And I'm like, I kind of do, yeah. Like, you know, so it's like journaling helps you be accountable. It's also fun to look back, like you said, and be like, I thought this way at this point in my life. And I still kind of have these same values later on. Or I thought one way at this point, I changed my mind, changed it again, you know, like you kind of see your evolution. And I think that's like, just as it's human life, like it's okay to change your mind. I think I always try to harp on people, like, if you don't like doing something anymore, you don't have to keep doing it. Now, do you need a plan on how you're going to change it? Yes. But if you had a certain job and you're just like, yo, this is like really making me unhappy, you establish that, figure out now what the next move is, and make a change. Like, the only person you're going to disappoint at the end of the day is yourself. I think once I got over that, because my parents, very encouraging of me making that pivot, but it's like, I had a full-time job, you know, right out of college. It's one of those jobs where it's like, oh, like you could really like be steady and stable for a long time. But for me, that was my concern. I was like, steady and stable, but miserable, or, you know, kind of unstable, but I feel fulfilled. I feel like I have something going for me, and it worked out. So,
nah, most def. Your story dope as hell. It's dope. Again, I be yapping, bro, but it's just dope now putting in like the conversation to who I've been following for like a couple months now. Like it's dope just to actually have this conversation just in general.
Sure.
So this is going to be an interesting question that I asked you, because I think I kind of feel this being somebody that doesn't necessarily like the thing that's like trending.
Yeah.
How do you maintain the pressure of like wanting to stay relevant in this era of like everybody's a content creator, but still staying true to who you are?
That's tough. Because I think what helps me is I have a full-time job. Like I'm sure some of you know as well. Like I have a 9-to-5, and I think having a full-time job and having that steady income allows me to be more free with what I want to create. I think if I had to do content full-time where like I'm banking on partnerships or views or whatever, you're gonna naturally fall into the trend or, you know, the viral moment. You're chasing that high each time because I got bills to pay. I think me having steady income allows me to be more free and do what I actually genuinely enjoy. I think the second part of that is my niche, I guess, is to be more informative versus something that's aesthetically pleasing. I think I found my own lane of like providing education, providing insight, and doing it in a way that doesn't feel pretentious or, like look down upon people. It's like, hey, look what I discovered. I'm sharing this with you, and this is why we have what we have today now. I feel like I found an audience that really resonates with that because it comes across as something that's very accessible to everybody. You're like, I'm into fashion, but I'm not like a fashion guy where it's like I'm into the archives and oh, you gotta know about this 1999, Margiela or whatever. It's like, oh, like y'all know like boat shoes came from this and the third, like pretty cool. Here's my pair of boat shoes now. You know what I mean? Like that's part of it. And I think also following the right people helps me stay on brand to what I actually want to talk about and do. I think the people I follow are people that reflect myself. You know what I mean? So it's like Drew, yourself, Kevin, a couple other like New York guys. Like we're all kind of in a similar realm. So I think when I'm on social media, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I resonate with. So it's like this is what I'm consuming. So this is what makes it also easier for me to put out there versus like following more trendy or bigger names. Like I'm not chasing what they do. I'm not influenced by their style. I'm just like, oh, that's cool to look at, but I'm not like intrigued, like I gotta do that now. Yeah, like I said, having a job helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I'm gonna get a check regardless. You're like, all right, I'm good. But when you start to have to like perform for people, that's the thing to other people realize sometimes. Like when it comes to these brand deals and like partnerships, like depending on the brand, they're so heavily involved in making it like exactly how they want it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I've had brands come up to me and be like, oh, we love like, your style on a Wildin' series. Like, can you do it like this? And I'll do it that way, like how I usually do it. And they're like, ooh, we love this.
Yeah.
Can we just get the brand to be the first 6 seconds of the video and you hold it this way and da-da-da? I'm like, well, that's not my style. Like it's gonna feel like an ad. Like the whole point of you guys coming to me was because I had this genuine audience. So now I'm gonna lose that because now I'm like a walking commercial. You know what I mean?
I don't think brands understand how much overly branding it is going to lessen the impact of it.
Yeah. They're gonna ask for the engagement. I'll be like, well,
they overly do like I haven't had many partnerships. One, for many reasons. One, I just got tired of like getting into these brand partnerships. They breached the contract by 6 months and I'm still waiting on the fucking money. I'm like, bro, come on, I already did what I was supposed to do. Like, I'm one of those people I honor what if I'm writing my name on this and you writing your name on this, just honor it. Like, there's no reason to. It's happened to me too many times. I have to tell people from my following, go in their comments because at the end of the day, yeah, I have a job, but like that other money could be used in effective ways that I need. Like, I still need the money.
It's just like it's like an integrity thing too. Like, respect.
Yeah, like you can't do that's not good business in my eyes. But I remember I had this brand a few years back sent me exactly what they wanted. You couldn't go out the parameters. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, I did it, but they're like, we want you to do it like this. They showed me like multiple examples. They're like, I think it was like 4 different people that were a part of it previously. They're like, we want you to do it like this and nothing else. I was like,
yeah,
okay,
just be in the face.
Like, sure, but it's just like that's not gonna come off as me, and people are gonna know it's an ad.
Yeah. I think too, like another thing about it too, which helps, is like having other interests outside of what you make content on, per se. So like for me,
wait, because that's the perfect next question.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I mean, I feel like we kind of already got that second question out the way. So that third question is, outside of fashion, what else do you nerd out about? Like, what's something that you like you could sit down and talk to your friends or like loved one or family and be like, I'm about to talk your ear off. You know that, right?
Music.
Really?
Music. Like I'm super into like where samples come from, and like I'm a big history guy too. So history of like not just garments and fashion, but like music, like oh, when when so-and-so made this album, did you know he referenced this person, had to like sample this and like what was going on at this time? Um, my father is super like into music as well. So that's kind of like how we always bond now as adults. Is like sing to the songs, playing the sample of like a popular hip hop record that we both like, and being like, "Yo, do you believe this?" Or like, "Oh, we got other connecting things." Um, yeah, I would say that's probably like the next biggest thing that I nerd out about. My girlfriend always laughs at me because I'll be in the car and I'm playing like a new song, but this is from. And I'll play the sample or whatever, or even movies too, like quoting movies and being like, they got that reference from or that joke or whatever. Like it's actually this or whatever. Yeah, so like anything like in that historical context of like film or music is something that I like passionately nerd out on. Also like cars a lot too. Not to the point like some car guys where they could, name the exact part of a car and engine, but like the year of a car and who built it, stuff like that. It's something I'll definitely go hard about for sure.
All right, so I'm about to get you canceled again. I need your top 3 albums of all time. Top 3.
Oh, that's easy. Off the Wall, Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Off the Wall for sure. Kanye West, Graduation. Yeah, I said it.
But you know what's so funny? Because anytime Kanye does anything, people be like, "But he made Graduation though." Bro, that shit is hilarious.
Me, like that when that album came out, like I listened to it straight through back and forth, all like to this day. Still, I just did something for me at that era of like my life. So I said Michael Jackson, Kanye. Third, it is like this is not like I'm these are things I genuinely like, not like what's popular. But I'm a big Larry June fan. So Larry June,
okay.
Let me get the exact name. I don't want nobody to be like, you know, the real one. But an album that I play all the time is Larry June's. I think it's what Mace like Out the Trunk. I think it's called or Out the Trunk. Yeah. Honestly, any Larry June album is like top tier for me. Like Mr. Midnight, Out the Trunk.
Out the Trunk, yeah.
Yeah. An honorable mention is Jay-Z's what is it called? Reasonable Doubt.
Okay.
That's my honorable mention. But yeah, but those 4 artists are in my music library, I'm good. Like if I have to like delete everything else, I'll be okay.
You got it. The Jay-Z was a good save because you're in New York. So now if people see, they're like, okay, now he good.
But the thing is too, like you gotta understand, like I'm 28. You gotta think about what I grew up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like people give answers and I'm like, but you didn't grow up with that person. Like you didn't really, so like how can you really like connect with it? Now if your parents played it a lot or whatever, like that happens. But I'm like, y'all picking answers that just sound good for like, the media.
No,
I'm not from the Bay whatsoever, or anywhere near California, but I like Larry June. Like I know most of his songs word for word.
Okay, so my list. I mean, my 1 and 2 number 1 rap artists is gonna make sense when I name the albums. Even though it's not an album per se.
Beforehand is that funny.
Friday Night Lights is the only Friday Night Lights from J. Cole. And I know I'm about to catch some heat because he backed out the fight. Friday Night Lights is the only album I've ever listened to in my entire life, front to back, that I can say there is no skips. I'm sorry.
That's a no skip. That's a no skip.
Like that is the only like every other album. I'm like, you probably could have got rid of that one song or like that's Friday Night Lights back and forth. Listen to it a disgusting amount of times.
Because what's the I'm so glad you said that because what's the other mixtape that he had where it was like Too Deep for the Intro was on Friday Night.
That's a intro, so I'll find another use, but just in case it's perfect, let me introduce.
That was 19 songs of E, like straight through. That's a good pull. It's a good pull,
bro. And then obviously my music taste. The second one is gonna be Stillmatic. Nas and J. Cole, obviously they're like Come on
Idol.
now. I let Nas down. Like, come on, bro. Those are two icons, bro. So Stillmatic, I mean, he has multiple albums, but Stillmatic is like masterpiece.
And he was
And
like 18 and that dropped.
bro, that was 2000. Stillmatic was 2002, I think. Bro,
Yeah.
insane work. Nas has a not even just on a music front, but just like an investing and just like business standpoint, he has done legendary work.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called. Hold on, I gotta look it up. Mos Def album. Hold on.
Oh, what Umi says on it? That one? Or
Studio Black on Both Sides.
Black on Both Sides, yeah.
Yeah. With mathematics on it.
I think you posted that not recently, but like within the past month. I think you posted it was, I don't know if it was you or my boy Paris. And I was like, yeah, that was a good album. I started playing it recently because Umi Says is on there. A couple other bangers. Yeah.
Mos Def don't get his credit, even though I know he changed his name. He don't get the credit, even just like from an actor standpoint too. Like he was just
you know, it's a sleeper album. Speaking of Mos Def, because I know Joey Badass is the cover. 1999.
Oh yeah,
Badass.
Yeah.
Boy,
Mos Def.
That's another one for me. A no skipper. Maybe one song I can skip, but to think about them being high schoolers.
Yeah,
making that type of music, I was like, this is dope as hell.
Bro, and even Larry, I've been listening to Larry, my homeboy, back in 2016, put me on Larry June. Like when he was like, yee, sock it to me, like that era, bro. So just it's crazy to see how far he's come, though. You know, good job, Larry, bro. It's dope to see how far he's come. I literally got put on him like 2016, 17.
Yeah, he's a Cali guy for real too.
Yeah. Okay, so you said music, but you also said film. So I want to know top 3 films.
Oh, damn. This is the one where it's going to be tough. Okay, this is no order, but I saw it again recently on a plane too, and I was like, this is cinema. Batman, Dark Knight.
Which one? Who's the actor in that one?
Christian Bale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Batman and Dark Knight, one of my all-time favorites. This one, him and the Joker were in it together. Heath Ledger. Crazy movie. Jeez, wow. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies too. So I'm trying to think of like what stands out. Like I'll rewatch it.
Dude, I will randomly just click a movie that's on like any platform just to give it a chance. I'll watch movies.
I'll be on Netflix sometimes. I'll even watch like the foreign ones. Like
yeah, I don't ever watch the trailers. I just be like, fuck it.
Just go in. Yeah, the Spanish movies be mad interesting. I'm like, this is crazy. Pursuit of Happiness is another one.
No, you know, Paul, for real. Pursuit of Happiness actually made me cry.
I watched it again recently. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Now this is a sleeper one. This is one that a lot of people probably are not gonna know, but I strongly suggest everybody to watch it. It's called Secretariat. It's a horse racing movie.
No, I haven't heard of
it. Yeah, there's a lot of horse racing movies that I watched. Surprisingly, I don't know why, but Secretariat,
2000,
Fire Story,
2010. I gotta watch it.
Yeah, that one. It's old, but the themes in it, the soundtrack was good. Good movie. Those are movies that like hit on all like things that I like the Batman one, the action, and like the filming style is fire. Pursuit of Happiness, incredible story. I love Will Smith at that point. And then Secretariat for me is like this like an emotional connection of like overcoming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those 3, and that 3 probably changes as my life goes on. Like the more I go through life, it's like, oh, actually, this movie's resonate to me more, or stuff like that. So yeah,
I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna
watch your movies. You said
I'm gonna watch this movie, and I'm gonna message you when I end up watching it. Because if you putting it with those other movies, they got to be good.
Yeah, like I said, for me personally, that emotional connection to it is strong.
Yeah, honorary mention though. Before I give my list, 7 Pounds is a great fucking movie too.
No,
That
no, I've
Will
heard
Smith
that.
doesn't. 7 Pounds with
I've
Will
heard-
Smith?
No,
Or am I
let's
saying it
give
right?
that. Probably. I mean, you probably are. I never seen it.
Yeah, no, bro. I promise you, before the weekend's up, you have to watch 7 Pounds. That is a
you a
good
movie watcher for real.
7 Pounds is a good movie, bro.
Young Willie.
Funny enough, my top one movie I always say is all the time. It's not gonna change ever. It's a comedy. I love comedies. I love dramas. I love all that. But this movie, 10 out of 10, perfect. I've watched it so many times. How High is the perfect comedy movie ever, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That era of just like goofy comedy movies, that movie is untouchable, bro. Like that movie is a goat.
Speaking of
Like,
good rappers, like a good actors, Method Man, and
yeah,
there's some good actors actually.
Method Man's had a great career in acting too.
Talk about it, man.
So How High, number one. Number two, even though it's like prematurely, I don't want to put it up there yet, but I haven't felt this way about a movie in a very long time. Even though I had like slight critiques for it, Sinners is a masterpiece.
Ooh.
I don't know, like it's too early. It's still 2025.
I had
so
to
like,
let it marinate a little longer.
yeah, I gotta let it marinate. I have to watch it a couple more times to like really send it home. But like that is a masterpiece of a film, cinematic wise, all that. Number two, I'm gonna go Interstellar.
Ooh, I saw that recently too.
Interstellar, fire. I like movies that make me go, "What the fuck did I just watch?" And I have to do like I gotta go to YouTube. I gotta figure out somebody review it.
And that's I don't know if you've seen this guy on YouTube. It's like Black,
probably
white, or so, bro. When he broke down Interstellar, I had to watch it again. I had a whole new appreciation for every little detail the director was doing. Like
Interstellar is
like each time I watch it, I'm just like, oh, that little detail, like, yeah.
And third, which the next couple ones could be interchangeable no matter. So I'm gonna just reel off a couple names. I'm gonna just put in the third spot. People did not like this movie, but Tenet is a fire ass movie.
Oh my god, that movie is incredible.
People say that's not a good movie. I was like, are you crazy? Tenet is fire. Under that, I'll put Prometheus.
You gotta pay attention. See, those movies you gotta pay attention.
Yeah, and I like movies that we gotta pay attention.
Yeah.
Prometheus, Tenet, Get Out. Oh my, Get Out was an experience to watch.
When that came out too, like the time period, I said,
bro, Get Out was an experience. I didn't like Us as much though. It was weird. I didn't like Us as much. But Get Out, fire movie. That's my list. I like movies. Obviously, How High. That just is what it is. That's like adding Friday to the list, just because like that's just a movie I've watched too many times.
Yeah, I can almost quote each line at this point. Like,
no, I can't. I want to do a sit down reading with that movie. Just like invite some people over, get some drinks, and just do a
read this part. Like, do it again. You gotta say a little more.
It's like, no, I'm Craig. Oh man, this is dope. And of course, content creators. So we got to wrap it up in this sense. It's like, more people are trying to be content creators. When I saw aunties and uncles and grandmas making content, I was like, okay, everybody's a content creator now. So it's like in this era where it's so congested with people trying to be fighting for attention, basically, for the viewers, what advice would you give somebody that's maybe just starting out? This may be their video where they're like, I kind of had a similar journey. I like what he's doing. I kind of want to mimic, or like, I want to go the route that he took. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give someone trying to grow a platform in this current market of social media?
I think my 2 keys to seeing success is figure out your why. Like, if your why is to, I want to make money, stand by that, be honest about that. If your why is to make connections, great. Once you really establish why you're doing something, it makes everything else easier to plan out. Like, work backwards in a sense. My second thing is be gracious with yourself. Like, you may blow up overnight. It happens. You may not. It may be a more sustained battle, but I think whatever the timeline happens, have some grace with yourself, because like you said, there's a lot of people who are trying to establish that community, establish a brand, establish a career in this. There's naturally going to be comparison. There's naturally going to have competition within yourself. And giving yourself grace allows you to still hold on to your joy of why you're doing something. There's a really great quote. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Maya Angelou. It was like, comparison is a thief of joy. And so when you're in this space and you start getting into that mental battle of, oh, well, this person has, 40,000 views and I do the same thing. Like, I got to set my game up. Like, you start to lose the essence of just creating in general. And my last piece of advice is, not everything has to be content. Like, you could just enjoy something. So when you're out doing something, don't feel inclined to record it or make a content or a topic about it. Like, just go enjoy it. Because as soon as you document your entire life for clicks, that's when you start doing things that are performative really easily. You become a character. You're now, a TV show character of people to enjoy and pick at and nitpick and criticize and embrace and all that stuff like that. So give yourself grace, have a strong why for your journey. And yeah, that's really the best advice I can give. As someone who's still figuring out themselves too.
No, that's real. I mean, because even like to your point about you start to do certain things for clicks, it almost shows up in the content too. Like, I don't know if you ever got a partnership that like didn't necessarily align with you, but like, I've accepted things where like, I need to pay this bill, so I'm going to do this.
For sure.
And like, I'm not as happy. I'm not as smiling about it. I'm just kind of like, you could tell it's kind of forced because people are watching. They're like, yeah, I see you did that for money. So like, when you start doing that for every piece of content you're doing, it's like people don't necessarily get to know like your true perspective, like the real you. So I agree with that wholeheartedly for sure.
Yeah.
And also just like, sometimes just like with sneakers, like we talked about earlier, you might be ahead of your time. And like, it may take 5 years, but when that 5 years hit, now somebody has a backlog of shit that they can just go watch and binge and like consume your content. So it's like,
yeah, man, that's always like what your why gonna be established early, because it helps you work backwards. Like, I'm sure you probably had the same sentiment where it's like you had your long term, your big why kind of planned out, and like what the end goal, not the end goal, but like something to strive for, and then it kind of helps you itemize what to do in the meantime before you get there. Like you said, you may wind up interviewing those people, those names on your list sooner than you might have expected, because you have those names up there for you to like look forward to. It makes everything else in between now align better. Yeah.
Nah, for sure. And I just like, I know personally, like sometimes I'll be doing stuff and it's like, that's my true interest. Like I have 7 pairs of clogs. Nobody's really rocking clogs like that. So it's like, I know me doing this isn't pushing my content out to the world. Like if I did like Jordan 1 reviews every single day, or like fucking, the most trendiest sneaker at the time, I would probably have a bigger platform. But like, I genuinely only talk about shit that I give a fuck about. Like everybody's not rocking Gerbo jeans or Gerbo classic pieces. But I like that shit. That's the shit that actually makes me excited. So I know it's not going to like in this moment be super popular, but like, maybe a year or two, somebody might be like, it might have a resurgence again. And like, people will have my video to come back to. So like, I like talking about shit that like everybody's not talking about.
For sure. And it shows, because also too, I think that's more sustainable long term, because if you're doing something that other people are dictating as popular, you're always going to have to pivoting and changing. People are fickle. I mean, people are going to change their mind literally tomorrow. But if you're doing what you genuinely like, you can do that for as long as you want, and it never feel like a chore.
Yeah. And what's dope is people know you for that. Because like when people know I like Gerbo, when that Supreme thing dropped, I got like 5 to 10 DMs like, "Hey, bro, Supreme is partnering with Gerbo." There we go.
Brand established.
And then they also followed me. I think that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Gerbo followed me. That is a ridiculous.
Like that's like you're doing the right track.
Yeah. But man, this might go on record as one of the longest ones, bro. This has been a minute.
Clearly.
Yeah. But what's dope is like, again, I just appreciate you taking your time out of your day to do this, because like the conversation just flowed. I didn't feel like nothing was forced. We talking about shit that like we give a fuck about, movies, fucking clothes, music, and like just dope to finally put a conversation to the person I've been following, bro. So like as always, I do want to appreciate you taking your time out to join me on here, bro.
No, I appreciate you even wanting to have me be a guest, because this is your brand too. You know what I mean? So you recognizing what I do and feeling like this align, this is something that can be shared and is worthy of also your time. So I was more than happy, more than honored. And I'm really glad to have a voice and a face and a deeper connection to the name.
No, for sure. Man, this is crazy. 40th episode of KLOTH Talk, bro. I can't believe I made it this far. Thank y'all for always supporting me. But without further ado, like I always do, I will catch y'all on that next one.
Later, y'all. Peace.
But I love the way you work it. Hey, I love the way you work it for me.